Welcome to another CEO Wisdom Pod. We have Anand Damani with us today. Anand is CEO at Galaxy Weblinks. He's been founder and mentor at Timurti Dicam Industries as well. Founder and mentor at Risen and Pigments, all businesses in India, Sri Radhika agencies, and much more. We're going to talk about his background today. We're going to talk about philosophy, life philosophy, and everything in between. This podcast is presented to you by podplayer.com. That's my podcasting company. If you want to start your podcast and scale it, go to podplayer.com. Anand, welcome to Pod. Tell me a bit more about yourself and about what you're up to nowadays.
Yeah, these days I'm writing more about the meaning crisis that is getting into more focus these days. All people who are in business are worried about the business future. Times are looking very difficult. All the different elements that are shaping the business, sustainability, climate change, the Gen Z problem, AI, things are changing at a very fast pace, and everything is tipsy-turvy. So everybody wants to be on their toes, just wanting to make sure that they stay afloat, they keep growing, and at the same time, they are aware that the planet needs to be saved.
So let's start with your background because you've probably been through that. I mean, you've ran companies for the past 36 years or so. Tell us about your background, like what you founded, what businesses you've led, and how you got the lessons that you just told me about on the way.
Okay, we started in the chemical trade in India way back in 1993. That's when I did my education as a chartered financial analyst, CPA. What is the equivalent of CPA in the US is known as CA in India. So I completed my education and I got into business. I started trading graphical items from Germany, Japan, and England. And then we got into manufacturing of raw materials for the ink and the paint industry. And at that time, the dot-com bubble came up. So I got interested in the internet. We used to have to dial up to connect to the internet, and I started using Yahoo search as soon as it was launched. And slowly I got into creating a B2B platform for the chemical trade. That was much ahead of the times. So we pivoted into developing softwares for other companies. And today at Galaxy Weblinks, we have around 600 engineers who are working for different companies in the US mostly. We are working for enterprise clients, for new startups, as well as all my other businesses are continuing to run, and they are in the chemical trade, manufacturing paints.
That's a lot of things that I guess you did. Is being in many branches a good thing in your opinion? Do you cross pollinate across one business from the other?
Um, yeah, it has its advantages as well as disadvantages. We are not very big in any single business, but having small different businesses helps you keep a very varied vision of how things are shaping out in the world. In India, we don't have this concept of selling your businesses off easily. We generally tend to stick to the businesses, while in the US, I think people just start a business, get it valued, sell it off, and then start another one. That's not the culture in India.
So how do you occupy your time nowadays in between businesses?
I have people with me who are taking care of all the businesses. I am more on the advisory role, and I just make myself available as and when the people who are managing the businesses need me to be involved in some strategic decision making, some crucial decisions that they need to make, or something that's coming up as important.
Is self-actualization something that you've lived throughout your career or only recently after getting out of your businesses?
I have been reading sporadically all through the business. Generally, in India, you have that culture of being spiritual. So it's been there all my life. But of late, I have been reading a lot of science that is now coming to prove that beyond physical matter, there is something that is yet to be discovered and understood. The morphogenic fields, as explained by Robert Sheldrake, who is another scientist in Europe, or Don Hoffman, who is a scientist, physical scientist in US, or Bernardo Castro, who is a leading PhD scholar of quantum mechanics, of AI, as well as of spirituality and psychology. So these people are leading the revolution where they are going beyond the frontiers of physical sciences and thinking of what is there behind all this uh, thoughts that are going on in the human being. So I have read a lot of those stuff and seem to have found the meeting point between spirituality and physical sciences.
So do you feel that you've done good with your businesses? Because a lot of over capitalistic businesses nowadays, I think, are taking much more than they give out to this world. So what was your philosophy over the last couple of decades? And do you feel that you've actually given more than you've taken in this market?
Yes, that is what the whole capitalism is coming to today. The people are talking of conscious capitalism. People are talking of B Corps. People are talking of social responsible corporations. So the whole way the nature works is when nature gives more than anything it takes. From the tree that grows onto the soil, and the whole planet got enriched on a suo moto mode by every evolution that happened on the planet. And even human beings are supposed to work that way. And that is what they realize when they understand that what they can produce versus what they can consume. What they can produce is always more than what they can consume. So the excess that they produce is for the welfare of the planet, for welfare of humanity as a whole, rather than keeping it for themselves, because their physical existence is not going to be more than a fixed number of years.
How did you get these conclusions over the years? Is it a mix of knowledge and a mix of introspection, aka meditation?
It's a mix of everything, and still you have to get those insights from your introspection, where you really want to know what feels good. So the basic nature of a human being is just like we can take an analogy of water. Water gets mixed with everything. Water absorbs all that comes through it, but still it maintains its core characteristic of being able to quench the thirst. How much ever dirty it becomes, how much ever contaminated it becomes, you put it in the soil and the thirst of the soil is quenched by water. Similarly, a human being is a collection of ideas, and the core idea that he has is the goodness for all. He wants himself to be safe and well, and he wants the well being of all others around him. Say if we take a family, in the family, everybody in the family wants everybody else to be happy. They want to give more to the members of their family and take less from them. When you bring up a child, the parents want to take care of the child. They want to give the child more than what the child gives them back. The child gives a smile, and that is the gift that they want. They want to take care of the child. They want to nourish him. They want to help him grow into a good human being. They want him to be happy and successful in life. So the whole concept of wanting the good has to expand. Slowly, you have to broaden your horizon to understand that the whole planet, we are all entangled with each other. The formless, the form, different kind of species, everything is correlated to each other. You can't be alone and bother about your goodness and still hope that if you will alone be keeping things for yourself and everything else, nobody else will have anything else. So that doesn't work.
How are you seeing humanity evolve nowadays? Is it going in the right direction?
Absolutely. Now, more and more people are thinking of how can they uh, be of use to the whole system rather than trying to be for themselves. The first primary goals is taking care of their physical self. They want to have a healthy body. They want to nourish it well. They want to have it protected. Once that state is reached, then they want to ensure the same thing for all members in their family, and then their community, and then the neighborhood. So the whole concept of off-grid living, reducing the consumption, minimalism, uh, not using more of plastics, not doing more of landfills, all the EPR rules that are coming now. I think in the US, 13 states have made it a rule that any company which is packaging the product has got to ensure that the material that is used for packing also is taken care of in a sustainable way. It is reprocessed, recycled. So this sustainability, recycling, and making sure that everything is judiciously used is now becoming more and more acceptable to general public. Generally, people discuss this in the trains, in the platforms, in social media, in general social gatherings. People are talking about these things in a very positive way.
What about the wars that we're seeing between nations?
Yeah, that's a very valid point. That's a very problematic situation that we are in, where people are not able to see the other person's point of view and going into conflicts. That's really a bad thing to happen. That's really destroying the planet as well as other human beings.
How can we make sure that capitalism scale without burning the planet? Is it necessarily laws? Is it different mindsets? Is it inventing new technology?
It's understanding the whole existence. We certainly will need new, better technology, but understanding that the human being is far more important and a key player than the technology. You need prudence before power. Human beings have got power. They have the potential to do a lot of things, but the prudence is missing. So, making every human being prudent, being able to think holistically, that education is coming. You pointed out the wars, you pointed out the difficult conflicts that are going on right now at this moment in the world. These are decisions taken by a few people. If we go to the majority of the people in the warring nations, the common person is not in favor of the war. But there are some systems, some institutions that have been and given the authority to take decisions, and those institutions, their thought processes, their disconnect with the common man is the problem.
I'm curious also to see basically if it's just like a mindset most of the time. It's just like I don't have enough. I need to take from my neighbor. And if so, like how can you change an actual human mindset? How is change generated? Is it through having a mentor and seeing that others are thriving in an abundant mindset in which there's stuff for everyone? Is it modifying habit? Because it seems that it's hard to change human minds.
That's the real problem that you're pointing out. The fact is the human mind, that is the scarcity mindset has been created. A child is not born with a scarcity mindset. So the fact that the mindset is created itself proves that it can be changed. It's not easy. It's going to be really difficult. And that is the challenge that we have today before humanity. How do we change the mind? The mindset of any person will change only with his consent. You can't forcibly change anyone's mindset. That is the normal understanding that everyone will have. Okay, everybody is entitled to his mindset. That is an outcome of the whole thought process and ideas that he has collected so far. And in everybody's mindset, he wants to take from others, but he wants to give it to his family. So both these mindsets are there in the same person. If you have a sibling who is in trouble, you want to give to them, you don't want to take from them, but you want to take them from other corporations. They are who are already rich or who are having surplus. So the very same person is having both these mindsets, and they are going to coexist. As we see a person broadening in vision, he will only change when his needs are taken care of. Unless UBI is a concept that you have mentioned in your profile. I looked through your profile. You have mentioned somewhere down the line you want to go to UBI, Universal Basic Income. So this whole concept is going to take time, I'm sure, but that is the direction that's going to help everyone.
Right, because human beings, when they're born on this planet, they don't have a choice to, like either they don't do anything or they're part of the system and they constantly create and add value back. I guess a bunch of people choose suicide at some point because that's the only choice that they have, because the capitalist system does not give you a choice, like either you contribute and you move your ass and you add value out there, or and if you don't, I mean, some countries are a bit more socialist than others. They give um some monthly income for folks to survive, but yeah, it's either you're the hunter or you're the hunted. And I think UBI can give people the opportunity to just chill if they want to chill. Me personally, at this point of my life, I don't find it fulfilling to chill. At some point of my life, my brain would be perfectly comfortable gaming 10 hours a day, not doing anything. But I think I converted my brain to be more aligned with this capitalist system, which is interesting.
Yeah, I wouldn't say being productive itself will become chilling. For me, doing business, being productive, participating in something and creating value and sharing that with my employees, with my customers, with my vendors is chilling. So the concept of chilling itself is a misnomer. It creates laziness, or it creates a sense of disconnect with reality. In reality, you want to be productive, you want to be useful, you feel happy having done something. You don't feel contented by doing nothing. Whenever we try to stay away from being productive, we want to laze around, then after a few hours you start feeling the urge to do something good. Entertaining yourself is always good, but entertainment with a positive creative mindset. You do some drawing, you do some painting, you be creative. Just chilling cannot mean lazing around and doing nothing. That is the confusion that gets created when you grow up.
I I do think yeah, there's the
Am I able to connect to you?
yeah, I think we're back online. But yeah, chilling me personally, it's that we grew up on video games, and then there were other addictions later on, like porn and so forth. So it's I think the human brain is really susceptible to getting addicted to these things if there's no other things in life. Because me personally, the educational system, I've never found any big value, or I was never attracted to it, and nobody ever told me about entrepreneurship, which became my passion, right? Money is pretty fun. It gives you freedom. It's a cool technology. I like using it and like giving it away too. So yeah, like when you don't have any other sources of focus and you don't know that you can use your creativity for good, I guess you use that creativity and video games and sex and all of that. So I think that's quite pervasive. And yeah, I'm sort of on a crusade or a tirade against the
See,
educational system and for educating people online and starting my own school. And it seems like we lost.
yeah. See, there are two kinds of needs that you have, and there are two kinds of things that fulfill those needs. You have a human being on one side, and then there is the whole planet with lots of stuff on the other side. So when you need anything like food, like thirst, those needs are quantifiable needs. You get them from the planet, you use them, and after a time you are satiated. You don't want them anymore for that particular time. After a gap of hours, you need them. But the things like love, things like respect, things like belonging, things like being useful, these needs are only fulfilled by another human being. So all these things are different of variety. They are qualitative needs. You need them continuously, and you can give them continuously in abundant quantity. I can give you a lot of respect and still keep that respect with me to give to another person, then to another person. So giving respect, giving love, giving affection, these are the things which human beings have in abundance. If you are enjoying talking to a friend, you can go on for hours together and you will never get tired. You play video games for a stretch of hours and then you get tired. You have pornography, you watch it for a few hours, then you get tired. You can't be doing those activities beyond a certain period of time. But having a good interaction, having a good discussion, playing with your child, these are things that you can keep doing for hours and you will just never know where time flew by. So being able to understand our needs is missing in the education.
Anand, thank you for today. Where can people find out more about you?
Yeah, you have my website, ananddamani.com. That's my personal website. Then I write on Medium. I've created a newsletter on Substack that's always going to be free. And I wrote a few articles on LinkedIn recently. So I keep writing about my thoughts as well as focus on my business. And that's my day, and I enjoy doing things that way, and I'm pretty relaxed and happy and having real positive hopes about humanity going in the right direction.